Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I don't know if CNN, MSNBC, or any other mainstream media outlets, if you know what I mean, informed you about the CPAC taking place in Hungary. And if they did, probably it was all criticism and no, these guys are the bad dudes. So we have over there a CPAC in Hungary, and we have the um, Prime Minister Orban of Hungary, Viktor Orban, who obviously had some, he's the star of the whole thing. He had some little speeches over there. The article that I would like to discuss today has to do with Orban and what he said about Tucker Carlson's show. I don't know if my friends who are familiar with this kind of things know who. I don't want to insult anybody's intelligence. I don't know what you guys know and what you don't know. But Tucker Carlson is a talk host who has his own show, and Tucker Carlson Tonight show every day, and except the weekends. And he is, I suggest and I strongly recommend people watching it because I think it's a very revealing show. One of the last shows available on the mainstream that would provide you with, I would say, a big dose of logic and intelligence and interesting subject. I suggest you watch that if you don't do it so far as of now. Nevertheless, in this CPAC in Hungary, even former President Donald Trump appeared over there via, you know, Zoom or whatever they used over there. So he also addressed the crowd. Now we go to this article coming from The Hill from May 22nd, 2022 by Sarah Paulus. And this is the title. Hungary's Orban says shows like Tucker Carlson's should be broadcast 24/7. So Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban said during a meeting at the Conservative Political Action Conference (CPAC) in Hungary that Tucker Carlson Fox News show should be broadcast 24/7. Tucker interviewed Prime Minister Orban about 5 months ago, something like that, and was an uproar by the guys who don't like free speech that, oh my God, he interviewed this guy. And well, I want to hear from the guy, good or bad, free speech. You have to listen to both sides or all the sides and figure out what's going on. If I listen only to your side or you listen only to my side, then obviously you'd get one side of the story, but there's many others that people could, if you pay attention, you can get certain points from this guy, this guy, this guy, and you have a wider and more broader understanding of the issue. That's like first degree. I don't know, first 5-year-old child level. That's everybody should be taught to do that. But nevertheless, so the recommendation came as Orban. So the first grader, that's what I'm talking about, should be taught to pay attention to all and vet them and put them one against another and see who's lying, because people lie. The recommendation came as Orban laid out a plan for conservatives to gain and maintain power, according to The Guardian. The GOP having its own media networks is the best way to fight the agenda of the left, he said, and vice versa. Orban and his supporters wield major influence over Hungarian media outlets, including state TV. Well, every country has its own state TV. I mean, as far as I know, BBC is not an independent unit, correct? And as far as I know, PBS and what that that's another one I can't remember it right now. United States is not it's not an private outlet, isn't it? Um, so nevertheless, but they and then you have Germans. Well, yeah, you have your state-owned. That it is. Every country has one, and then you have private outlets. What's wrong with that? Oh, unless you're like in Ukraine and you ban them if they are Russian, correct? That's a fact, isn't it? Yeah, because they spread misinformation, correct? Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm for that. If they spread misinformation, they should be banned, yes. Of course, the GOP has its associated media, but they do not compete with the dominance of the liberal press. Only friend Tucker Carlson places himself on the line without wavering, he said, Orban said, according to CNN. All right. And I'm quoting again, his program is the most watched, which is true. Orban added, what does it mean? He asked. It means programs like his should be broadcasted day and night, or as you say, 24/7. And it says Carlson made a brief virtual appearance at the CPAC meeting in Budapest, during which he praised Hungary as a, and I'm quoting, free and decent and beautiful country that cares about its people, their families, and the physical landscape. CPAC, yeah, the Hungarians are not taking a dump on their culture, language, tradition, society, and all of that, like other countries don't name names, you know. They say, no, we are Hungarians and we will stay Hungarians. You want to come here? You got to be Hungarian. That's what they say. Well, good or bad, that's their style, and they have the right to do it since they're a sovereign nation, aren't they? CPAC will next hold events in Brazil. Oh, Bolsonaro, yeah, Bolsonaro, and Israel before heading back to U.S. for his Texas conference slated for August 4 to 7. Orban reportedly invited Trump to Budapest in February ahead of Hungarian's elections in April, in which he won his fourth consecutive term as prime minister. Carlson released a special earlier this year about Orban's fight against political mega donors and philanthropist George Soros, titled Hungary versus Soros, Fight for Civilization. Right. Yes, yes. Look, do some research if you didn't do so far on Soros and find out on his own words when he was living in Hungary. So he's Jewish, living in Hungary, born in Hungary during the Nazi time. And what he said, that those were the best times of his life. And he was also involved in some collaboration with those guys by and people pop and taken, if you know what I mean. So nevertheless, it's needless to say that I like the Hungarian idea of maintaining its culture and its traditions, language, the foreign religion that they have coming from the Middle East, but nevertheless, it's a different story. But nevertheless, and remember, I'm Romanian and they're Hungarians, and I like Viktor Orban. I must say, as of now, he's Hungarian for Hungarians. I mean, it's not for no reason. There's no, it's not for no reason that he was re-elected, like from what 2010 or something, or so. Yeah, he's a Hungarian. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. See ya.